There's a reason ancient thinkers warned us not to respond to every question that comes our way. They understood something most people still overlook. A question isn't always an invitation to truth. Some questions are crafted to unsettle you, to pull you off balance, to make you defend things that never required explanation in the first place. An old teaching says that a truly wise person isn't the one who holds all the answers, but the one who recognizes which questions should never be answered at all. Contained in that idea is a lifetime of understanding. We live in a time where everyone wants a reaction. Social media, arguments, even daily conversations are shaped to make you justify yourself endlessly. But real wisdom isn't in responding quickly. It's in recognizing when silence is the stronger move. Silence, when chosen intentionally, isn't weakness. It's authority. In this reflection, we explore 5 questions the wisest people avoid responding to directly. Questions that manipulators, emotional players, and smooth deceivers have used throughout history to confuse, control, and destabilize others. They sound gentle, even harmless, but beneath them lies a psychological snare designed to test boundaries and drain your peace. Before we begin, remember you're watching Beyond the Twist, where we explore the hidden patterns of human behavior and the deeper truths buried beneath everyday life. Now let's begin. 1. Why are you so nervous? This question appears kind, even concerned. Someone looks at you and quietly asks, "Why do you seem nervous?" Or, "Why do you look tense?" But the tone often disguises the true intention. Psychologists call this emotional suggestion, a tactic used to make you accept a reality that isn't yours. The moment you try to explain yourself, you've already stepped into the trap. You've accepted the claim that something is wrong with you. Your confidence drops, your focus shifts, and suddenly you're defending a feeling you didn't even have. The sages of the past understood this dynamic well. One wise teacher once said, "When false accusations appear, silence becomes your shield. Explanations only open wounds in your own heart." When someone tries to rattle your composure, your strength lies in staying grounded. A simple, steady, "I'm okay," said calmly, protects your center. Then gently steer the conversation back to where it began. You can even turn the question back toward them with quiet confidence. "That's interesting. What makes you think I'm nervous?" Just like that, you remove their power to define your emotional state. Understanding this subtle trick is the first step toward emotional mastery. Once you realize not every question deserves your energy, you begin to see how control often hides behind concern. 2. Don't you trust me? Now we move to a question far more manipulative: guilt disguised as closeness. Few things pressure a person faster than hearing, "Don't you trust me?" This question slices into your sense of loyalty, forcing you into a false choice. Either you trust blindly, or you become disloyal. But trust is not the same as carelessness. There is an old proverb that says, "Trust the divine, but tie your camel." Meaning, trust and caution are not enemies. They walk together. When you rush to defend yourself by saying, "Of course I trust you," you've already surrendered. You start justifying the simple act of being reasonable. A manipulator wants you to feel guilty for setting boundaries, as though protecting yourself is proof of betrayal. The wise response is calm and clear. Trust and responsibility can exist together. Or, this isn't about mistrust. It's about being thoughtful. You never owe anyone blind loyalty. The truth is, those who are worthy of trust never demand it. They earn it quietly. This is what separates healthy relationships from subtle coercion. When you hold your ground, you stop reacting and start leading your life with sovereignty. Your peace stops being something others can question. It becomes something you guard with quiet strength. 3. What are you hiding from me? If the first question targets your emotions and the second your loyalty, this one aims straight at your dignity. What are you hiding from me? It sounds like simple curiosity, but it is built on an accusation. It doesn't ask for clarity. It assumes you're being deceitful. No matter how you respond, you lose. If you say, "I'm not hiding anything," you sound defensive. If you explain, you feed their suspicion. The entire structure is designed to make you feel guilty, exposed, and stripped of self-respect. An ancient saying reminds us, "The wise cannot justify themselves to the foolish, for the foolish do not recognize truth." Manipulators use this tactic to turn privacy into suspicion, boundaries into guilt. But privacy is not secrecy. Privacy is self-respect. Everyone is entitled to their internal world, their thoughts, their space. When someone tries to invade that space, keep your composure. Ask gently, "Why do you think I'm hiding something?" Or calmly state, "Everyone deserves privacy." That doesn't mean they're hiding anything. You owe no one full access to your inner life. Those who demand total transparency are often the very ones who hide the most. Healthy connection grows from respect, not surveillance. Learning to protect your boundaries without hostility is the mark of true wisdom. You don't need to argue for your integrity. Your steadiness is all the proof you need. Do you think you're better than everyone else? Notice how each question becomes more personal. First your emotions, then your loyalty, then your privacy. Now the attack is on your identity. Do you think you're better than everyone else? This isn't curiosity. It's an attempt to shame you for being different, for choosing a higher standard, for not following the crowd. This question exploits one of the deepest human fears, the fear of not belonging. And when you choose principles over popularity, mediocrity often takes offense. If you respond with, "No, I don't think I'm better," you've already stepped into the trap. You begin apologizing for having values, for making choices that align with your path. But living with integrity is not arrogance. It is simply self-respect. A wise voice once said, "If I am not for myself, who will be? But if I am only for myself, what am I?" That's the delicate balance. Respect for yourself without belittling others. You can walk your path without believing it makes you superior. Respond with steady conviction, "I don't think I'm better. I'm just choosing what's right for me." Or, "Everyone has their own path. I honor yours. Please honor mine." The moment you stop needing approval, you become impossible to manipulate. Each time you refuse to apologize for doing what's right, your inner strength grows. 5. You won't get upset if I tell you the truth, right? Now we reach the most subtle and dangerous question of all. This one hides behind politeness, but its purpose is far from gentle. You won't be offended if I tell you the truth? This is not someone seeking permission to be honest. It is someone seeking permission to be cruel. If you say yes, you open the door to disrespect. If you say no, you appear overly sensitive. Either way, you lose balance. There is a teaching about destructive speech that whenever someone begins with a disclaimer like, "I don't mean to be rude," but what follows is almost always hurtful. A genuine friend doesn't need a warning label before honesty. They speak truth with care, or they choose silence. The danger of this question is not in what comes after it, but in how it conditions you to accept harm dressed as honesty. When someone presents this trap, gently give the responsibility back to them. That depends on what you're planning to say. Or calmly, "If you think it might offend me, maybe it's worth considering whether it needs to be said." With this, you refuse to play their game and instead expose their intention. Those who speak with wisdom don't disguise cruelty as truth. They understand that honesty without compassion is simply another form of harm. A wise teacher once said, "The whole world is a narrow bridge, and the greatest courage lies in not allowing fear to guide you." Don't fear silence. Don't fear boundaries. A wise person's strength isn't measured by how many arguments they win, but by how many traps they quietly walk past. Because sometimes, the most powerful answer is the one you choose not to give.